going? PTM, prop the mic here. What's up, Dave?
You're supposed to say the date at the start of the show, too.
I always forget that, right? Tuesday, May 2nd, 2023.
That's good. We're going to lose viewers if you keep forgetting that. A lot of people come here just for that information. It's good, man. Last night was good. What do we posted kind of 3.5 picks up on Twitter. I'm saying 3.5 because I'm counting that Paul Reed one. And we went 3-1, right? So
Yeah.
that was good. Really good
Very good.
stuff. So we continue our domination of the NBA playoffs. And then this morning we, just an hour or so ago, we put up a collab with our buddy Valley Bets and Proptology. So we've been working with those guys for some time. So it was great to kind of do a 3-way collab, 3-leg parlay. So go check that out if you haven't
For
seen
some
that
nice
yet.
juicy odds like we like.
Yeah, really good. And honestly, the strategy is good for game one. We basically all kind of took an altered line, brought the odds down, and that's really what you should consider doing in these game ones, like the Lakers versus the Warriors tonight.
Yeah.
Because you don't really know who's going to do what until you start to get a couple games under your belt.
It's good to get a feel for the series after game one. Though, as you saw with the game two Denver Phoenix last night, there's also adjustments the teams make, and what you think is going to happen might not. But that was an awesome.
Yeah,
game.
that's true. All right, so you ready to dive into our two games for today?
I am very ready.
Very ready. Oh, you got your LA hat on too. All right. So first game, we got game two, Heat at the Knicks. Knicks are -6.5 at home after losing game one. Total is an ugly 206.5. And, there's a lot of question marks in this game. Butler's technically a game time decision, although I'm pretty sure he'll give it a go. Brunson is also a game time decision, and Randall's, who sat out game one, is a game time decision. I think they all had ankle problems.
Ankles, all
right?
ankles. Yep,
A lot of ankle issues. So they better tighten up those shoes a little bit in that game. All right, so who do you like?
All right, it's hard, obviously, to do some solid picks till we know exactly what's going to happen. I've heard some stuff today that Randall's going to play and Brunson's going to sit. For maybe they sit them both because they have 3 days off after this game until they play again in Miami, which is very unusual for the playoffs. So maybe there's some strategy involved in that. I also think that. Brunson had the ball a lot last game, and I think Tibbs is going to make some changes here. So I think maybe we can find some stuff that's maybe get ahead of the curve a little bit and kind of predict what Tibbs might do. There was a game against Miami towards the end of the season at the Garden that the Knicks ultimately won. And you know who the closing lineup was in that game? And this game, Randall and Brunson were both in the starting lineup, okay? The Knicks unit that closed out that game to win at the Garden against Miami was Quickly, Grimes, Barrett, Hart, and Hartenstein. So I think those are players that you should definitely keep your eye on in this game. Specifically, I think Quickly and Grimes. They need the shooting. Having Josh Hart, I don't think Hart starts again. I don't think they it's not enough shooting for them. And I think it's time to jump on those guys. So I like hold on, let me pull up my stuff here. There's actually nothing out on either of them yet. But
right.
So basically that whole spiel was just to say that when Quickly's lines come out and Hartenstein's lines come out and Grimes, those are the guys I'm going to be targeting. So maybe you might see something later on Twitter once we see some of those lines. But what do you think?
Yeah, I like it. I think Tibbs, out of any coach, is the coach that will play the hot hand in game, right? He'll leave his starters on the bench if the bench is outperforming them. And quite honestly, that's how the Knicks have gotten to where they are this year. Their second unit has often been picking them up when the starters don't play well. So yeah. I could easily see two. I would say the guards, like you said, quickly and
And
Grimes
Grimes,
are
yeah.
probably the guys to focus on, and I think quickly could be due for a huge game tonight. So especially with Brunson, if he plays, he might be out there as a decoy. He might be shooting less. He might be, just facilitating.
Hmm.
So I like it. I wish the lines were out so we can kind of see how sharp they are.
Yeah, the other thing with Hardenstein I like here is like Miami's so disciplined defensively, right? So they're like, like Robinson was a beast on the offensive glass against Cleveland. They're, excuse me, he's not going to be able to do that here. So I think that may lead to more minutes, just the way Miami's going to play Mitch defensively. That might open up some more minutes for Hartenstein as well. So that's also, I think, why I like him. And he seems that against Miami this season, I think he played pretty well in general. So
Okay,
I like Isaiah, but
nice.
no official pick.
No official
Oh,
pick. Do you have anybody else on the Knicks side?
I do not.
All right, so let me throw this one out there real quick. Again, it's a lean. Especially given what you just said about Hartenstein, I'm even less excited about this. But I did like Mitchell Robinson, 17 and a half PR. He's played 30 plus minutes the last two games.
Mm-hmm.
Even if Randall's back, I think he will continue to play big minutes. 71% hit rate this season on 17 and a half PR when he plays 30 plus minutes. And he's 2 for 4 against Miami this year. So I started there. I like the play. I don't love it
Mm-hmm.
because I think he's more of a 25-minute game guy, but they've been trying to stretch him a bit.
Yeah.
What might be better has a lower hit rate, but a good recency hit rate. 1.5 blocks. Yeah, he's done that 63% of the games this year with 30 plus minutes, but he's done
Mm-hmm.
that in five straight games in the playoffs. So
Okay.
so that might be nice, especially with with one of the primary offensive threats on the Heat being Bam.
Yeah, yeah, I like that. I mean, that's the type of thing. I mean, Mitch could get that in the first quarter.
Yeah,
I think I would lean that of the two plays. That's definitely I would definitely lean on the blocks as opposed to the points and rebounds there. I like that. I like that call.
yeah. It had a lower hit rate, but recency has
Yeah,
been much better. So I like that
yeah,
one. Okay, so that's again. I stayed away from the Knicks because I don't really know what's going on with their lineup. The Heat
yeah,
lineup is also in flux, but a
yeah.
little bit more stable. So, what do you like on that side?
I also, because of the Jimmy Butler situation, I think he probably plays. But even with that sprained ankle, it happened. It happened in the last 5 minutes of the game. So like you didn't even get to
Yeah,
see what he was doing, right? With post injury. So I don't know. I'm kind of taking a wait and see here. And yeah, I didn't have an official pick on the Miami side either.
that's fine. What do you like about what do you think about Gabe Vincent? I know last game you were on him, and he had a monster game. I think
Yeah,
you had texted me right when I was about to get on a plane that you wanted to play his points over,
yeah,
and then I was watching. Actually, the plane had the game on, so I was watching the game, and
yeah,
he scored like 7 or 8 points in the first 5 minutes of the
yeah,
game.
yeah,
And then when I landed, I found out that we didn't play it. Um, but anyway, he's his line is up to 13 and a half points, and um, I think he's been pretty hot of late, especially without Hero. He's crossed us in 10 of 17 games without Hero,
hmm,
and as a subset of that, 5 of 7 games this year away without Hero. So he actually plays better on the road than he does at home.
hmm.
So what do you think he's
Yeah,
got another game in him?
I think so. He seems to match up pretty well against the Knicks. Brunson did not look good. Was not like looking great defensively, and I know that's the matchup there. So whether he plays or not, I think yeah, I was on it in the first game. I don't see, especially if Jimmy doesn't play. I didn't look at the splits, without Jimmy Butler. But even if he's a little bit, hobbled or whatever, yeah, I can get behind that again. I like that.
Yeah, he's just not. The thing I like about him for points plays, he's just not afraid to shoot. Any open shot he gets, he shoots. So,
Yeah,
so the volume will be there. It's just a matter of whether or not he converts.
yeah,
And then the other play I had, which again is a little questionable, because if Jimmy doesn't play, this is a pretty bad play. But if Jimmy's in the game, I kind of like Bam under 29 and a half PRA. Um, he's only crossed this line in 1 of 5 games against the Knicks this year.
Mm-hmm.
And he's only crossed this in 2 of 7 games in the playoffs. So he's kind of getting up to 26, 27, but he's not getting to that 30 number very often. So I kind of like that today.
Despite him being one of the, I think you said he was one of the more played, or at least on my end, one of the guys we played more this season. I'm almost getting to the point where I'm done trying to predict what Bam's going to do. I just feel like there's some games where you're like you forget he's even out there. Like I don't know. I just
exactly. That's why you play his under.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
We want him to
I can
disappear.
get behind that. I like that.
I mean, he'll have a good quarter in this game. He always
Mhm.
does. He gets streaky. He'll score 6 straight points, but then he just, like you said, he just disappears for periods of time. So, so that was my only play there. All right, so let's move on. That game's just a bit of a mess with all the injuries.
Yeah.
Next one is game 1 of the Lakers at the Warriors. Warriors are -4.5 at home. Total is 227. I mean, this has the makings of an iconic series, right? Like a game 7 potentially. Like it's a legacy game almost for LeBron and Steph.
And Steph, yeah, it could be the last time they ever play in the playoffs against each other, possibly. You know.
Yeah, and the reality is, it doesn't really matter what happens here. They're both like top 5 players all time, probably. Yeah. So top 10 maybe. So, but anyway, it'll be fun. And again, it's a tough one to predict at this point because both teams really changed their lineups probably around game 3, game 4. And obviously the Warriors had Green coming in and out of the lineup, so that was also impactful. But what do you like for this series?
All right, so I got a few things here. I for some reason I didn't end up really with anything significant on the Golden State side. Not sure exactly why. I don't know if I need to dive into it a little bit more, but I came up with I have 4 plays on the Lakers side that are kind of looking nice to me here. So one is, first we'll go with D'Angelo Russell. I know he is part of our parlay that we put up already today with Proptology and Valley, but I like his PA here, 20.5 PA. He's done this in his last 50 of 58 games when he plays 30 plus minutes, averaging over 26 PA. He played 30 minutes, I think, in every single game of the Memphis series.
Yeah, I think so.
He's done this in 12 games. He's played on the Lakers that LeBron and AD also played. And he played more than 24 minutes. So that knocked out a couple games where he played like 10, 12 minutes, something like that. He's 10 for 12 in games with AD and LeBron. So that was pretty good. 28% assist percentage this postseason. He's got over a 1 assist to usage ratio, which means he's looking to distribute the ball when he has it. And you got the revenge narrative. He was traded, from the Nets to Golden State. They gave up on him after a season. He's cleared this his last 3 times he played Golden State: 21, 31, 21. So I like 20.
There's actually a double narrative here because who else was he traded for early in his career?
Who else was he traded for early in his career?
Wasn't he traded for Wiggins?
He was. Oh yeah, that was no. So that was after that Golden State then traded him.
It was.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was the second trade. And
Yes, he was traded to the Nets in the KD sign and trade or whatever it was. Yeah. And then after that, they flipped him for Wiggins. Yep.
But you got the Wiggins Russell narrative as well.
Yes,
so,
good call.
So he's got plenty of motivation to play well in this game.
Yeah, I think the line you'll see in most books is 21.5. So I have that actually adjusted down to 20.5. The hit rate climbs. I think it includes like 5, 6, 7 additional games, just notching it down that 1. So I like that. I know we'll get some questions about that. I think here is time. It's -140, so it's not terrible. Here I think is time that you might want to pay that a little bit extra to adjust it down that 1 point.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's a good move.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So who's your next play on the Lakers?
Okay, Mr. LeBron James, 5.5 assists, -120. He's done this the last 2 times he played Golden State. He had 8 assists in both games. He played on 3 days rest 3 times this season, 10, 12, and 6. When he plays 36 plus minutes, 73% hit rate. 37 plus minutes, 83% hit rate. 38 plus minutes, 92% hit rate. That's 12 of 13 games this season. I like LeBron here. I know we had him for the rebounds. I like him for the assists. 8 and 5 is like, it's like 100% for LeBron. So we're going to bring it up 1 assist, and I think he gets there.
Yeah, he's only I like it. I think it's a better matchup. I think it's going to be a fast-paced game. But he's only crossed that in 3 of 7 games in the postseason so far. So you're still good with that?
Yeah, I saw that. I mean, 3 or 4 times he got to 5, and and I agree. I think this matchup against Golden State, I think will generate some more assists on his end than the Memphis matchup did.
Yeah, 8 and 8 the 2 matchups. Yeah,
yep.
Yeah, that's a good matchup. And this type of game will lead to a lot of fast breaks too. I could see him, you know, kind of leading the break and throwing some out to AD and such. So yeah, that's good. I like that play.
Nice.
All right, next one.
Rui Hachimura. We love Rui here.
It wouldn't be a podcast. It's the Brogdon Hachimura podcast.
There we go.
Who would have ever thought? About. Yeah,
Malcolm Brogdon and Rui Hachimura. All right. So his point line's down to 9.5. He's done this in 3 of the last 4 times he played Golden State. The times he went over, he had 14, 16, and 16. That 14 was with LeBron and AD in the lineup on February 23rd. He's also done this the last 2 times he played on 3 days rest this season. 12 and 14 points. And if you look at his season in whole, obviously a large majority of it with Washington, but when he plays 22 plus minutes, which he played in every single game, except the one, I think he had like 21.4 minutes or something like that against Memphis. He's 32 of 40. That's 80% hit rate when he plays 22 plus minutes, scoring 10 plus points.
Yeah. I think his point number is now to a reasonable number. And if you looked at, you remember the beginning of that Memphis series, he was playing closer to 30 minutes. So that's what we'll find out today. Do these teams now reset, and kind of go back to their original lineups and start with that? Or do they just keep riding their game 6, game 7 lineups? I think they're more likely to reset because they want to obviously save the minutes up for the later games, right?
Yeah, I think so. It's typically the way it works. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anybody else?
I got one more. I think you might like this one because this seems right up your alley. But Troy Brown, over 3.5 RA, minus 115. Yes. Were you on it already?
I didn't write it down, but because I actually didn't write it down because I thought you would trash it. And now here you are supporting it. So.
Dude, he's done this in 31 of 34 games with LeBron and AD this season. 4 straight against Golden State. 10-4, 7-4. Let's just put it in the books. I love the low line. 3.5.
That might be my favorite play of the day. Is he starting? What's his deal now?
No, his minute. That's the only thing. His minutes are up and down, so you don't have that. There's some volatility there.
Yeah, looks like Jared.
But the line was so low that I thought it was worth a shot. But if you look at against Minnesota and the play-in, I mean, he what was he? Oh no, he just missed twice against Memphis. Last 8 of 10. So yeah, I think this is a good play.
Okay, I like that. Also note, might impact some of these guys' minutes. It looks like Mo Bamba is now a game time decision as opposed to being out, so he could get some run. Although I'm not sure. Not sure they're huge fans of him there. So
I don't know. But, it's actually, I'm glad you pointed that out. Just going back, I have all the matchup stuff from the regular season in my head still. Stretch bigs, guys who can shoot the 3 against Golden State is a very good matchup. So I would keep an eye on Mo Bamba if lines come out. If he's going to play and lines come out, that could be a sneaky.
Yeah, I don't know if he'll play tonight, but it looks like he'll be back at some point in the series.
Yeah.
All right. I just had one play to call out on the Lakers side and then one on the Warriors side. Lakers, Dennis Schroeder, 1 steal -115. He's done this in 5 of 7 playoff games, and he's done this in 2 of 3 games versus the Warriors. The 2 that he did cross were both at home. So you got to. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. He's actually away. So yeah, I think he's not getting huge minutes. He's getting 20 something minutes in these games. So he's not getting big minutes, but he is. The 2 games where he did cross against the Warriors. D'Angelo Russell was on the team at that point, so I think that's decent play.
Yeah, I mean, I see he had 7 assists over the last 4 games against Memphis. So I think that bodes pretty well. The only thing I was looking into him a little bit, I just didn't like the volatility in his minutes going from 16 up to 33. That was his range in round 1, or 16 to 30. Yeah, I like that reason. I like that recent 2, 2, 1, and 2. The last 4 games against Memphis. That's nice.
Okay. And then we got the play on the Warrior side. I got Jordan Poole, 4.5 RA, -135. I think this is another question mark. Is this guy going to get playing time, or is he not going to get playing time?
Yeah.
He's certainly looks like he's falling out of favor a little bit, but at the same point, they just gave him a huge contract, so they need they need to keep this guy engaged. So he's 4 of 4 versus LA this year, averaging 8, and 4 of 7 in the playoffs. Now he played a couple games with 23 plus minutes. I think 4 games with 23 plus minutes in the playoffs, and 3 games under 23 plus minutes. So I kind of use that as the threshold. When he does play 23 minutes, I looked at the games where Wiggins and Steph both played. He's 25 for 30 this season, crossing this line. So it's a super low line for Poole, who typically gets a couple assists and a couple rebounds. He only needs 5, -135. I thought it was good value. You're taking a little bit of a gamble, just depending on how much playing time. But I think if there's a game where they try to reintroduce him and give him 25 plus minutes, I think it'll be game 1. So
yeah, I see that, and I see even the 2 games he played with Steph against the Lakers. Yeah, I mean he crushed it, 7 and 9. Yeah, I think that looks
and
good.
I think he crossed this in the game 7 too. If you have that in front of you, he crossed this in game 7 against
He did. He had 5
game
in game 7.
6, game 7, yeah.
Game 7.
He had 5, and he only played what, like 17 minutes, I think it was.
He played 19. Yep,
19 minutes. So, yeah, he's a big question mark, but I think he's worth the risk tonight. So I'd go Poole 4.5 RA.
All right.
All right.
Good.
So yeah, so be cautious tonight. You got a lot of question marks in both these games.
Yeah.
So we'll try to kind of keep our eye on the market as news comes out, and maybe get another play out that we didn't mention on this show, and try to find our best 1 or 2 from these. Okay.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. Enjoy the games.
You too. Bye.